This is my first video of 2026. It's a new year, a new me. My hair is green for a very limited time. I turned 23 like a week ago, which is crazy. Quite the big age to be. I'm in this really weird limbo stage of my 20s, and I'm sure a lot of you may have some familiarity with, where I am out of college, but I'm still in my parents' house and I'm slowly going insane. So I thought, I might as well find a way to romanticize this period of my life so I don't feel miserable because going on Indeed makes me want to cry. So instead, I thought, you know what? Today I'm filled with joy and love for the world, so I might as well channel that into some video because I miss being creative. And I thought, why not start here with a medium that I know very well. So, today I went to the thrift store with my friends and we got a cutesy little brunch. We did all sorts of things. I do have a thrift haul for you. One of these things I packed up into a gift, so I can't show you guys, but it was just a cactus-shaped shot glass for my friend because I have a very late Secret Santa gift to give to her. But I got a couple of things, some media. My friend and I ended up going to the used game store too, but from the thrift store, I got this sweater vest. I don't really wear very many sweater vests because I don't own any, but now I do, so hopefully I will. I like how it looks kind of 3D with this little pattern. I thought it was neat. It is too big for me, but maybe that'll be the move. Maybe that'll be a look. Maybe I'm pioneering a new style. Who knows? And I found Madonna Like a Virgin on cassette, also at the thrift store. This was like 60 cents. Crazy. Now I have 3 cassettes. Very exciting. I also got this, CD. There was just something about it that captivated me. I don't know if it was like the kind of minimalist text situation on the album design. I thought that was really interesting. I looked up online, seemed kind of up my alley, so we're gonna check it out. And then lastly, that was from the used game store, and I also got this copy of NHL 07 for the PS2 because I've just been feeling possessed with the urge to play like shovelware sports games for the Wii. I played Deca Sports growing up a lot, and I kind of want to go play that like right now because they had an ice skating game, and I do love ice skating. So, yeah, that is all for my thrift/used game store haul. But I think my first step to trying to love life and romanticize this weird limbo period of my 20s is just to experience more media. I feel like I spend a lot of time online, and I've kind of for the last year trying to like get off of my evil phone. And so I'm thinking, I want to watch more movies, I want to play more video games, I want to read more books, and I have all of these things because I keep getting them at like used secondhand stores and stuff, and I don't play them, I don't read them, I don't watch them. What am I doing? All I do is go on my stupid phone, so that's changing today. I'm thinking I'm gonna go play that game now, so I'll let you guys know if it's any good. But yeah. So this is me trying to set up the PS2, which had a bunch of stuff on top of it. As you can see, I'm very confused. And then discovered that the power cable was plugged in just fine, but the AV composite situation was nowhere to be found. So in my unending wisdom, I seemed to think that the Wii cable would work, but obviously it did not plug in because it's not universal. I thought it would be like an HDMI cable, but no, it didn't work. So that's been embarrassing, but I did end up having to dig through this big old box of cables. Always a joy. And it did take me about 5 minutes to find the correct cord because it was at the bottom of the pile and also it's tangled. Whoever designed my TV was not very smart and decided that the composite thing should be underneath the TV. Maybe it should be insulting their intelligence there, it's not very nice, but it was very inconvenient to plug it in. But I did eventually get it, and then I realized that, this is a PS2. The controllers are not wireless, and the couch is very far away. So I just ended up pulling in a chair from my room. Very professional gaming setup. I got to set the time from January 1st, 2000 to the present day. And then I choose the language of Spanish because I can, which did not affect literally anything but the main menu, but I thought it was fun. And then it was time to enjoy the glory of NHL 07. Anyway, I did have a great time making my own player. I don't know who Bunka Ding is, but I decided to name my guy Silas Hockey because I thought it'd be funny. And I was mystified by the nickname section, especially the implications of fingers. What does that even mean? I mean, you guess you use your fingers to like hold the hockey stick. I don't know. I tried to make him like a nice and kindly appearance because he looks like a randomized sim, but this is the best I could do. So, yeah. Also, I'm obsessed with the fact that I have no idea how these stats work, but I could just make all of them 99 if I wanted to, I assume. I didn't bother to do that because there are so many stats, but I'm very curious. After this, I realized that I didn't even want to play this game, and instead I wanted to play Deca Sports for the Wii. So I plugged the Wii up, and the disc was so scratched that I could not play my favorite game as a child. I'm like actually devastated right now. This is so sad. What if I wanted to play my game? So in my sadness, I decided to just give up on the gaming for now. And instead, I went over to listen to my brand new CD. I didn't end up listening to the entire thing just yet because this is very long, but I was enjoying what I was hearing. I thought it would be nice to get some work done on my computer, like planning out YouTube videos and stuff, but I didn't end up actually doing much. But I guess it was nice to hear some tunes stuff. Another strange thing of being in your 20s is that I have experienced so many like life changes over the last year. I traveled to Europe for the last time with my college choir. I graduated from college. I finished my thesis and it's online published for anyone to read. I met up with my best friend in the entire world for the first time in real life, and we went to Denmark and saw our favorite band live. I'm still in shock, to be honest. This was last May. I moved back to my parents' house after graduation. I started a new job, which isn't a permanent situation, but it is a job that I work and that I mostly enjoy, you know? And now I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, I guess it's like time for me to move out because I would love to have my own space. I lived in my own apartment, like with roommates, but you know, I had a little apartment in college and stuff like that. And so it was definitely a strange experience going from that kind of freedom back to living at home. Once again, trying to see the change, something positive, something exciting, something that is full of opportunity rather than something that is, you know, horrifyingly overwhelming and scary. So I feel like it's definitely about time for me to have more change in my life. Look at the sky, I'm still here. I'll be alive next year. So as I began editing this video, I kind of just came to a big realization, which is that I've been talking about college as if it was like this perfect time and now everything is like weird and uncertain. And, you know, I think I'm romanticizing college because I did not have a great time, to be honest. I was miserable a lot of the time. I was very sad. I cried a lot. I was very stressed. And I think it's easy for me to just forget about all those things just because there's something to be said about the sense of community you get from college, you know, seeing your friends almost every single day. Especially, I was friends with my roommate, so, you know, I was seeing my friends every single day. And going from being in an environment where, you know, you walk around campus to being back in the suburbs and I can't walk anywhere is weird. And so I'm realizing now that I can replicate those positive aspects of college in my day-to-day life. It's not like learning and friendships stop once you graduate. So I'm starting a mental list of ways that I can improve my life by taking aspects of college and putting them in my normal style life now, which is that number one is friendship and just social life. Because like right now I work, not every single day, but I work. You know, I do get to see people with some frequency. I mean, we don't get to talk very often, especially when work gets busy, but that's a little bit. But I would like more. I'm back in my hometown and a lot of my best friends are still here, but a lot of them aren't. And so I have a much smaller social circle than I used to. But I think in some way that is starting to change, which is good. I went out to a bar, yes, last night with my partner and one of my high school friends and some of my partner's friends that I've met before. And I joked that I was organizing a play date because not all parties knew each other. So I was like, okay, we're coming together. But I generally had such a great time. I mean, I don't drink, but I did have the most gorgeous Shirley Temple of my entire life. I love my friends so much, and I would love to keep making more friends and seeing them much more often because I feel like You know, seeing people is what makes my mental health a lot better. And I was recently watching a video by Alex Ross, Soggy Race 3, over here on YouTube. They're talking about how one of the changes they made in their sort of winter routine is they were seeing friends all the time, like every single day, multiple friends, like multiple friend groups per day, and how, like, you know, her mental health had just gotten so much better over the winter because of that. And that really, really made me think, like, okay, perhaps spending time with people is a solution. And I am so grateful to be dating someone who has a lot of friends. And so that's the one thing, is community. I'm just gonna say it is community. My second thing is just like learning. I'm realizing now that I have been in school for so long that I've gotten so used to learning, and then now that I'm not learning, I feel like I'm losing my discipline a bit. And I worked so hard over the last year. Well, that's a bit of a stretch, but I worked over the last year to get off my phone and spend more time like with people and spend more time like reading and stuff like that. But I did not read very many books last year, and I'm back on my phone again because I do have to use TikTok for work now. So part of it is trying to find a balance. But I did get like several books on sale back in November. So we went to this used bookstore and they were doing a sale for Black Friday where they were just selling all their books for $1. All of the books in the used bookstore were $1. So I got a couple of them. I think I'm gonna make a more dedicated video on them, but two of the ones I want to start reading right now are a book by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. I read one of her books my senior year of high school, and I saw this one and thought it might be interesting. And then, of course, I never have read this. It's Beowulf. One of my friends read Beowulf like last year, I guess, and absolutely loved it. And now I am intrigued. And of course, I love language, and it is the bilingual edition, so that's a nice little touch that I can read the Old English side by side with a modern translation, which is very neat. So starting off with keeping discipline and not just letting myself go to work and then go home and go on my phone or something is reading books. I also think, like, I was talking to my friends yesterday in the car actually, and I was like, God, I want to learn more history. And they were like, you can do that. We can just start like a little book club and read history books together. And so I think perhaps now that I'm out of college, I can start curating my own courses, which sounds a lot more exciting than it might actually be. But I want to get better at my like self-study when it comes to language learning, because once again, I lack the discipline to maintain my language skills, which is why, you know, my Spanish stagnates a bit. And of course, my other languages I've tried to learn, I have very minimal knowledge of. And I think those are the main two things I really miss from college are community and like routine and discipline and learning. I think I definitely should be writing more and I should be creating more things, but my schedule's pretty open. So I think I should try to be taking advantage of the time that I have right now to do the things I want to do. This isn't really me talking about like microdosing college or anything, but I did talk earlier about how I want to be, I hate the word consuming media, but I do want to like watch more movies and of course read more books, but just like play more video games, listen to more music. I listen to a ton of music, but I'm really bad at not listening to new music as much as I want to. I just don't get around to it very often. I need to like jot down these as more concrete goals, but those are my thoughts right now about life after undergrad. I feel like I'm being very dramatic, but as someone who felt very, very grateful to be done with their degree, but incredibly lost afterwards, I think it might be good for me to set a couple of like parameters for what exactly I want to do in this sort of beginning stages of going out on my own. So yeah.
Hello. Oh, he's so cute.